everybody, welcome to my things to do. If this is your first time visiting me, hi. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the bell notification. That way YouTube will let you know every time I've uploaded a new video. So what do I have for you today? Today I have a homemade lasagna. And when I say homemade, I mean it's homemade all the way from grinding my meat to making the sauce and even making the pasta. I know it sounds intimidating, but believe me, it was a lot of fun to do and it was easy. So come on into the kitchen and let's get started. I like to use large pork roast and cut it up into several meals. There's only the two of us, so I will cut this into 6 1-pound portions. I've got this cut up into several different meals, pork chops, roast, steaks, and I'll save the bone for my stock or soup later. Today's lasagna, I'm going to cut this portion into strips as best I can. It feeds through the meat grinder a lot easier that way. I like to take vegetables and seasonings and add that in while grinding the meat up. Today I'm using a half bag of thawed butternut squash, and I've drained a can of black beans and using half a can of that as well. Moms, this is a great way to sneak vegetables into your children without their knowledge, and perfect for those of us that just like the seasoned ground meat. If you don't have a meat grinder, that's okay. You can always use your food processor instead. Just remember to pulse it until you have the meat ground to the consistency that you want it to be. The sauce, I'm going to use the rest of the bag of butternut squash and a can of Rotel mild tomatoes and green chilies. I'm adding in the same seasonings that I used for my ground meat, which was the Italian seasonings and the garlic. I don't really need to add too much salt in this. Now I'm going to use my hand blender to blend this up to the consistency that I want, which is not too thin. Again, if it's something that you don't have, no worries. Use your regular blender. I've added a tablespoon of coconut oil to my pan, and I'm adding my ground meat. I'm cooking this for a bit before adding in the sauce. Once my meat is browned some, I will add the sauce, mix that in, and then I'm adding about 1 cup of my homemade stock, and then a couple of teaspoons of baking powder to help thicken it all. I'll let this cook until it's reduced some and the flavors all come together. Guess what I forgot to buy? Cheese. So what's a girl to do? I keep Parmesan and Gouda in the freezer. I just cut off a few chunks and add them to the food processor, pulsing until I had them all ground up. Time to make the pasta. If you saw my DIY pasta rack and green and pink pasta video, then you will recognize this pasta. If not, I'll link it up top. I'm just going to roll out sheets and then cut them to size. I'm using an 8x8 pan to cook the lasagna in, So I'm going to cut the sheets about that size. I'm going to cook the pasta sheets in salted boiling water for about 30 seconds. I have a bowl of ice water standing by to transfer the pasta in to stop the cooking process. We don't keep ice in the house, so I did put the bowl of water in the freezer to get it ice cold. Put this all together. Start with a little bit of sauce at the bottom of your dish to prevent the pasta from sticking. On top of that, we're going to add the pasta, and then we're going to add the sauce again. Now, after you've added your sauce, you're going to add the cheese, and then just repeat. We're going to repeat until all of our pasta has been used, and we end with the cheese on top. In the meantime, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to cook your lasagna for 30 minutes, and you're going to have the best lasagna ever. Sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. Remember, it's so easy to add vegetables in when you're grinding your meat for ground meat, meatballs, anything like that. Well, today my thing to do was to make my own homemade lasagna. Make it your thing to do too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Bye.